name is Liz and welcome to Nothing But Bags. Hi, my name is Liz and welcome to Nothing But Bags. I call this space Nothing But Bags because literally handbags are my favorite thing. When I'm getting ready to go somewhere and I go through my closet looking for something to wear, the outfit has to properly accessorize the handbag, not the handbag accessorizing the outfit, because for me, my outfit is an accessory. My handbag is the main event. Whether this is your first time clicking on one of my videos or you're one of my returning supporters, friends, fellow handbag addicts around here, either way, I appreciate that you picked this video from the bottom of my heart. As you saw from the thumbnail and title of this video, this is going to be the final episodes of Bad Influencer. So episode 6 is entitled Twin Flame. When we left the last episode off, BK and Pinky were on their knees with guns pointed at their heads by Bra Alex's henchmen because Bra Alex had discovered that BK was sleeping with Timba the cop. He's also sent some of his other henchmen to kill Timba. And so Timba is right now in his car, kind of reeling from being hit and waking up from being like knocked out. And he's being shot at. So he gets out of the car. He looks around for Leo. When he realizes Leo is in the car with him, Leo is laying out in the street. He has been thrown out of the car during this accident. Timba is in a gunfight with Bra Alex's henchmen, which he wins, even though he's shot, and he's able to get to Leo, and the ambulance and everything comes and takes him to the hospital. In the meantime, BK convinces Bra Alex that, yes, I'm sleeping with a cop, but I've been sleeping with the cop all this time because I've been getting intel for you so that I could know what was going on with his investigation. It's not been romantic, and I haven't been his spy. I've been your spy. Bra Alex ends up letting them go, and lets her know that they've taken care of Timba. Timba's dead now, and not to sleep with no more cops, to keep her legs closed. She knows in her heart that Leo must be gone because Leo was in the car with Timba, and Bra Alex has said that Timba was killed by his henchmen in a car accident. So she just knows that Leo is dead. Her and Picky are riding in the car. Picky's very apologetic because she only told Bra Alex about her and Timba because she was angry. She had no idea that Bra Alex would do anything to Leo, and she really didn't intend for any of this to happen. So they end up getting a phone call, and they're told that Leo and Timba are at the hospital. But when they go to the hospital, they're arrested. The police have now arrested everybody in Mogul Sleigh circle. They've got BK, they've got Pinky, they've got Lales, who's their little manager that works for the hotel, and they've got the couple that owns the pawn shop where BK used to work out of the back of. That's been helping them with the video work and the computer stuff. Everybody's in jail, and BK and Picky are being questioned. And ultimately, BK works out a deal with Timba. And, well, first of all, Timba is demoted at his job because of what he's been doing. They know he's been in a romantic relationship with BK, so they're questioning whether he's been really focused on this case properly and approaching everything the right way. So they put his second in command over the case. BK is able to work out a deal. Look, give us immunity, and I will get you Bra Alex's, the guy that's over Bra Alex that he reports up to. At this point, I don't know who that is, but I will get that person to you. And so now she's able to go back to the hospital and sit with Leo. Leo is in a medical-induced coma because of the injuries he suffered in the car accident. And as far as BK is concerned, they have an immunity deal with the police to get them set up with Bra Alex. But now she's got to convince Bra Alex and his boss so that everything can work together. And ultimately, she is picked up by Bra Alex's boss, her and Bra Alex. Bra Alex comes to her place because at the hospital, his people are watching her and they're telling him she's still working with the cops. So he goes to the house to kill her. But his boss, which is name, I think his name is Tim's, Thames, he ends up bringing both of them to him, and he's going to kill them because he knows everything that's going on. Earlier in the episode, he had actually hooked up with Becky. Becky is Beck. Becky has been working at a beauty salon because he was never killed by Bri Alex, which is what BK asked him to do. He was not killed. Bri Alex assumed that by killing Joyce, his friend, that would take care of Becky and Becky would go away, and Becky did. But the boss comes to Becky to find out what happened with you. How did you get cut out of your money that you were owed? I don't even know why people keep saying BK owes Becky money. In the very first episode, Becky got $20-some thousand from BK's work. All the money she had made on that first handbag sale. So he made his money. I don't know why they feel like he owed. Anyway. So he goes to the salon. The big boss goes to the salon and talks to Becky. We don't know what they talk about because we just know he goes to the salon and talks to him. So he now knows what's going on with BK and the police and the bags and everything. And he's going to kill BK and Bri Alex. BK, per usual, runs her mouth and makes a deal with the big boss and says, I can make you $5 million. If I make you $5 million, will you let us live? He says, you got 1 week to do it. And it's not $1 million, I'm sorry. It's 5 million rand because this show takes place in Johannesburg. So she has no idea how this is going to happen. But she's got to come up with $5 million rand to pay this big guy off. And the goal is, ultimately, the police will come in and arrest the big boss as the money is changing hands, so that they'll get the big boss for Bri Alex, and then she and her friends will get immunity. Now we go into episode 7, secure the bag. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna be mixing these episodes up a little bit, but y'all gonna get the full story of Twin Flames and secure the bag. And I've been doing this separately, but my supporters are the ones watching these reviews. Not really a lot of people, I think, that are watching the show. And so I told them, I promised them I would wrap all this up in one video. Pinky and BK come up with a concept that they're going to do a big influencer event and invite all the big influencers in Johannesburg to this social gathering. And everybody is going to be getting all of the bags that they make and auctioning them off to raise this 5 million rand. So now BK has to make 130 bags in 7 days with the team that Bri Alex has hired. And how do you make 130 bags in 1 week, good quality bags, and make 5 million rand in 1 week? It's an impossible task. Per usual, BK set herself up for failure because she's making decisions off the cuff because she's trying to survive. And she wants to see Leo. She wants to be at the hospital with Leo. Leo ultimately does come out of his coma, which is a blessing. And they have this big social influencer event. And Naomi, but let's go back. They have to convince the guy over that champagne company to co-sponsor this event with them. And the rumor mills have been saying that the bags that Mogul Slate has been pushing are fakes. Somebody actually shows on social media that the bag is fake, a Gucci bag or something, or YSL bag or something. And so he's like, I need to know that these bags are real. So you have to prove it to me. I want authenticity, certificates of authenticity on each and every bag. So what ends up happening is Pinky ends up taking the money that she and BK have been saving up and goes and buys 30 luxury bags from the store and takes these bags back to the guy and shows him all these certificates of authenticity, and takes the bags back to the store and gets her money back. I also left something else out. After they left the jail, after BK made this deal, after they left the jail, Pinky was extremely angry with BK. And she decides to call her former sponsor. And he comes to pick her up from jail. And he tells her, I'll take care of you. Me and my wife are separated. Your girl I was talking to, I really wasn't talking to her like that. It really wasn't that serious. I really want to be with you. And Pinky is like, I got my sponsor back. I can get my old life back. He takes her to see his attorneys. He has a law firm. Like, they sit in the conference room. There's like 5 or 6 attorneys sitting there talking to them. And they work out her position in this case is going to be that she was ignorant to whatever BK was doing. BK was doing all this stuff. She had nothing to do with it. And it's bothering her. It's really bothering her. And she tells them, we got to go back after they leave. She's like, we got to go back and talk to them because I can't do that to BK. I know why she did this. She did this for her son. And I did know what I was doing. And he's like, you got to use some sense. You can't do that. You can't say you knew. You got to get out of this. She got the police to help her. You ain't got nobody to help you. He takes her to buy her luxury bag. She gets her Louis Vuitton Capucine that she wanted in the beginning of the show. And they go back to his place and he gives her a costume to put on, a lace costume. And she's like, you want me to put that on now? I'm not in the mood right now. He said, I took you to see my attorneys. I bought you a Louis Vuitton Capucine. You about to drop something off up in here. And I don't know why Pinky would think that this man is going to take you to his law firm and hire attorneys for you. They charge hundreds of dollars an hour, hundreds of rand an hour, and take you to buy a luxury handbag, and you're not going to do something for him. That was just very, very ignorant of her. Anyway, she ends up tying him to a bed and puts the costume on like she's going to do something sexy with him, and ends up taking a picture of him in a compromising position and tells him, the next time I hear from you, these pictures going viral. She finally comes to her realization that, which you would think she would have done it a long time ago, that this man cares nothing about her, and that she's got to take care of herself. So that was kind of cool to see her do that arc, that character arc, to kind of finally realize what was really going on and what she should do for herself. So we have this social media event. And all of the big people show up, and they end up almost making their 5 million rand. But Naomi shows up, and Naomi has somebody with her that she says is a handbag authenticator. And he says that the bag is fake, and he can see the stitching because BK had been cutting corners because she knew she could not produce 130 bags in exceptional quality in such a short window of time. So she had been cutting corners, and he saw it, and he bust her out in front of everybody. And then Pinky ends up throwing champagne on Naomi, and now Naomi's chasing her through the hotel to fight her. Alex showed up for this event because he wanted to make sure everything was going smooth because he still don't trust BK. He knows BK got something going on with the cops. So he ends up coming to the back where the fight is taking place and puts a gun to Naomi's head and says, you gonna get back on camera and you go tell these people you just lied. I'm gonna shoot you. And that's exactly what she does. So then BK, the money still isn't coming like it needs to, and they got a very short window of time. They only got a couple of minutes left in this auction. So BK ends up going back into the room with everybody and takes her mask off and explains to everybody the real reason for doing this. Her son used to be bullied. She wants to take care of him. She wants to empower herself. She doesn't want to be scared anymore. Gives this very impassioned speech, and they end up making more than the 5 million rand that they anticipated. They're counting their money at the pawn shop, and Bri Alex is there, and his henchman is at the hospital watching Leo, and he knows to take Leo if need be as leverage. I don't know why they're using this baby, but anyway, so he tells BK, I got Leo, shows her pictures, and he says, you know what, you going with me to drop this money off with the big boss. And so she thinks they have Leo. Timba finds out that Leo has been taken from the hospital, and Timba leaves work and goes and finds that baby and gets him and shoots Bri Alex's henchman. And then he tries to warn her that, because he's found out that the offer for the immunity was fake. They just did that to get her to take them to the big guy. They had never had any intention, all of them going to jail. So she ends up going in to meet the big boss with Bri Alex with over 5 million rand. And she tells him, look, the police are coming. Look, Bri Alex called the police, and he set y'all up. This is a setup. The police are on the way. So they shoot and kill Bri Alex. And then the person who shoots and kills Bri Alex is Becky. And then the big boss is telling Becky, now you can kill BK. And BK is like, please don't do me like that. Look, please don't do me like that. I got a son. Please let me talk to my son. She's begging for her life. She tells him, I can make you millions of dollars. I made you 5 million rand in a week. Can you imagine what I could make in a long term? And she's trying to beg for her life and beg for a deal. And the police end up showing up and raid the place. And you would think that they would get these people, right? Well, fast forward, we see that BK is actually going to court. And she's been found guilty of all the crimes. The guy got away scot-free. He got away with all the millions of dollars. Now it's all over the media and the news that BK was mogul slay and all the bags were fake and that she hustled people out of 5 million rand. And she in prison. And she did that to sacrifice herself so none of the other crew would go to jail. So Pinky is raising Leo for her while she's in prison. And the way it ends is she gets a phone in jail from one of the other prisoners. And when she gets on the phone, it's the big boss. And he said he has a picture of Leo in her cell. And he tells her, I just want to give you a picture to remind you what you're doing this for. You did say you could make me millions, right? So that's how the show ends. That's how the whole season ends. I thought it was a great show. It wasn't as much about the bags as I thought it was going to be about, but that was a great entree into a storyline. I really liked, knockoff bags and replica bags are a big topic here in the handbag community. There's a lot of conversation around should you or shouldn't you buy replica bags. It's counterfeit. It is an illegal industry. However, a lot of people feel like they shouldn't have to spend $4,000 and $5,000 on a handbag that they can spend $100 or $200 on and have the same ultimate experience and the same quality. The show does kind of speak to the money that's being made in this industry. Probably funds other crimes. So that's probably that's an issue in the replica conversation. But at the end of the day, you have this woman who really wanted to take care of her son. Her son was autistic. He had special needs. He needed a special education. And she was trying to raise money to get him into a school that could cater to his needs. And had she not done this, she would have never met Timber. She never would have got him in that space program that he was in. And when at the end, we see Leo in school and he has friends. And that's something he didn't have at the other school. So anyway, I thought it was an exceptional show. Based on the way the show ended, I'm sure there's going to be a season 2. I really enjoy watching it. I love talking about handbags, and I love how this show was an intersection between handbags I like to talk about and television, which I watch all the time. If you watch the show at all with me, drop down in the comments. Let me know you were watching it, and let me know what you thought about the end. Did you enjoy the season? What you thought about what BK was doing? And the only other thing I'll ask of you is that you have an absolutely wonderful day.